Hello, so this is a task I need help with some desert purple martin data. And I've shared the link on this spreadsheet that I've developed. And what this is all the data that's been submitted from all the sightings from all the volunteers for the last couple of years. And well, since the project started, 2020 to 2023. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we're going to look at the spreadsheet. It's the same spreadsheet that I've shared the link for in the email. So it's called Desert Purple Martin Crew Data 2020 to 2023. And I have multiple tabs here. But this is a copy of the spreadsheet that the data has been submitted to using a Google form over the last several years. And one thing that you should know is as the years have gone on, we've added sort of more questions from when people who've been monitoring purple martin nests, like in saguaros, go to submit their data. Over the years, we've added more questions as we learned more about the birds. So my point being, the structure of these may be different from tab to tab. So because of these differences, I do split the data out by year. So each of these tabs is what I need help with. And what's going on is when people submit their data, they can include photos, and how Google Forms handles that. And in fact, it's quite good if they do submit photos. And here's a nice little photo here of a male near a cavity. So when people submit their photos, Google Forms very nicely allows people to submit multiple photos. So they upload a photo, and then Google Drive makes a link out of each photo and puts it here in the spreadsheet. So then I can go and see those photos that people have submitted. Now, one of the things that happens is it allows people to submit multiple photos. And when you do that, what happens is Google Forms sort of takes multiple links and sort of crams them in here all together. So here's one link for a photo. Here's another link for a photo. And how you know they're separate is they have a comma at the end. Okay. So I can see here, and you can also see too, when you click on the cell, they do kind of line up nicely. But what I need is each of these links in their own cell. And this is because I'm going to do a script and have this information come into like a document. And I want the photos to preview, and that can't happen unless each link is separated out. So I need each link separated out. So let's do a little demonstration here. So I've made the columns that have all these photo links pale yellow to try to be helpful. And so this first one I've already done, where you click and I made these new columns, photo link 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you can see that each one, if you look up here where the information showing, that each one just has one link in it. That's what I need. So this one here has multiple links. So we're going to go ahead and grab those. So here we go. I think it'd be good if we keep them in the same order as the people uploaded them, just to keep it that way, because they might build, or they might be describing photo 1, photo 2 in their descriptions here. So I can see here 1, 2, 3, 4 photos. So I'm going to start with 4. So I'm going to grab the last one, and I'm going to hit Control X. So it's going to get rid of it and copy it. So Control X, and then I'm going to hit backspace twice to get rid of that comma. I don't want that comma there. I'll put this here. Then I'm going to go 3, or excuse me, actually go back to the first one and grab the next, the new last one. Select the link, Control X, get rid of the comma. I'll put it here. Control V to copy. Go this. Grab with the new last one. Oops. And do Control X. Get rid of the comma. And we'll put it right here. Now, what will happen is when I hover over each of the cells, a little preview shows up, which was not happening in the first one. And this is going to have a lot of utility. Having them split out like this is going to have a ton of utility for us, because now I could put them into our interactive map. Now I can put them, have the sort of have them auto preview. This is going to be a lot better to have them split out. And this is what I need help with. So I have the 2020 tab, and then I have the 2021 data. And because I switched things around for year 2 and asked a lot more information from people, there's 2 places where people could put photos, because I asked different questions about the nesting saguaro than I did about the marten behavior. So there's 2 places people can put photos, and to help make that more clear, I did make both of these pale yellow. And interestingly, I was looking at this earlier. I don't know if any of these, oh, this one has 2. So this line 48 here in 2021 does have 2. So I'm going to grab this one, do Control X, backspace twice, get rid of that comma, put it right here. Oop. Okay, so now the 2 are separated out, and I can see, I can see the preview of each photo. Each photo now shows me a preview. So 2 different photos now are actually previewing correctly. Now over here in this left column, it's gonna be a lot more that have multiple images that need to be, the links need to be split out. So that's 2021. And I have made the other columns smaller for now to make it easier to see. I would also suggest you take this window, which I think auto defaults to being small like this, narrow top to bottom. I would make this a bit, I'd pull this down just by hovering over the letters when you get that arrow with the 2 heads, and pull it down a bit just to make it easier to see how many links there actually are. And this one has a lot. Now, often when it's blue like that, there's just 1. And if there's just 1, just leave it alone. That's good. We're good to go. But I do check, because this one has 2, and that's why it's black, because it's not auto linking. But even if they are blue, we should click on them just to make sure there's just 1. And if they're previewing like this, there's definitely just 1 link, because that's what we want. It's working well. Okay, and then as you see, a lot of data here in 2021. In the 2022, we got the same situation where I have 2 columns again. So this one here has multiple links that need to be split out, or moving to the right. And then over here, there's fewer, but there are this other column of links. And I need you to check, but it does look like these are all singles. And that's because I wanted a photo of the saguaro, so people tended to submit just 1. And then the one with the purple icon is this year's data. And it's the same deal. I have 2 columns where people could have put photos, and they're both yellow. So 2 columns. And then same thing, we need to go through them and split out these links. So it's quite a lot of lines to go through, but it's a pretty a task that I think is pretty straightforward. So it should be all right, and it actually will be extremely helpful to me, because then I can go through and do some of the work I need to do later this month of trying to collate all this data. So I think it's pretty useful for this to happen. And so let's just go through the key commands one more time. So I have this one where I have 2 links jammed in here together. They're separated by a comma. So I'm going to grab link number 2. I'm going to highlight it, do Control X, put backspace twice to get rid of that space and the comma. I'm going to put it in the column next to it. Now I have formatted all these cells to do that thing where it cuts off. Doesn't seem to be, once you paste something into it, it doesn't seem to hold. So how you can do that again is if you select everything or select that column, probably you just select everything. This function here called text wrapping, if you just select the option that's already there to clip, that then clips them in. So that makes it a little more clear that they're just in that column. You don't have to do this, but if you feel like they're getting in the way, that's spilling into the next cell, that is a way to kind of calm them, tame them, if you will. So I really appreciate your help with this task. And this is gonna be really helpful. And then pretty soon we'll be having a nice display of the data with the photos lined up in there, which is what we really need. Great. So thank you so much.